Hello there, General Techno here with yet another video review, this time of Transformers Henkei Deluxe Starscream, which is a repaint of the now repainted to death 2006 classic Starscream mold. I'm going to start off with this in robot mode here and show off the posability. It's got a bit of a neck that turns like this. He's got arms that swivel, the wings swivel back, which is one of the flaws in this mold. That in order to move his arms back, because of the missile launchers, you have to turn the wings back. The missile launchers do pop off, and they do fire, as seen here. Legs bend, knees bend. Knees are pretty stiff, and his feet bend up as well. Overall, the posability is very good. Now then, I'm going to compare this to the classic Starscream's robot mode, because this is really going to give a good picture of just how much of an upgrade this is over the original classics mold. There's no question here in my mind that this is better. Now, here's classic Starscream off to the left. Note the painted face. I did that myself with a silver Sharpie. It's not that great, but it's the only reason you're really seeing detail. The head is probably the biggest difference. Whereas Starscream has a black head all around on the Classics version, the Universe only has the black up to here. And from here on out, if you look at the back like so, you can see that it's just gray plastic back there and it's a painted head. He also has a darker face. This is a plus or minus for some people. It doesn't show up too well in the camera here, but it's darker than the unpainted gray of the original Starscream and more like the animation model. Other things that are painted, other paint differences that are notable, the pattern on the wings. This one has lighter color of red, and this one, I like the shade of red better on this Starscream here. It's a brighter, more vibrant, more red. This one's more of an orange red. And the wing pattern, as you can see, is different, whereas this one, it's more G1, and to drive the point home further, if you look at the wing here, you can see the upside-down Decepticon symbol on it, a homage to the original's animation model. He's also got more G1 accurate paint apps on the legs. He's got little details like the tail fins. As you can see, this one has the pattern of the original toy. This one's got a new pattern. And, of course, there's the chrome on the missile launchers, as you can see right here, which is a plus or minus. And the final thing I'm going to make mention of that's a notable paint app difference is, well, actually, there's two things. There's the white paint apps here and here, as opposed to where this one has a red bar here. And this one also has painted landing gear. The landing gear, if you look up closely, is painted the same color as the face, I believe. So it's a bit of a dark silver. And the edges are also painted as well, which adds better consistency, whereas this one, the edges here are unpainted. As well, this is just everything fits together very well, despite this being the gajillionth reuse of this mold. Now, I say this, but as an interesting comment, on my classic Starscream when I got it, the missile launchers never fit on properly. Specifically, the one on the right side never likes to stay on. So I find it interesting that you have people complaining about loose missile launchers when my original one had a loose missile launcher, and all the other versions of this mold I have, which would be Acid Storm and Ramjet, have tighter launchers than the classic Starscream. Now, I'm going to go ahead and transform this sucker. I'm going to start first by taking off the launchers and folding the arms out like so. There's a ridge right here which you can fold the hands into, and that's another note here. Note the paint apps here. There's a lot more paint apps on this figure, which is probably why I showed it off in robot mode first, because it's where they all shine. And next what you do is you flip out the landing gear like this, and you fold his chest in half, down like this. Nose cone folds up, cockpit assembly pops out, you can see the joint right there, and it rotates to snap into the back here, like so. Turning them over, going to the legs, legs pop up, arms fold in, so you have the hollow cavity with the arms, and this entire assembly folds up. You then take the legs, you fold up the ailerons like so, push them in, should just snap, fold out the tail fins, fold the wings down, and then you just pop the missile launchers in like so. And that about does it for his alt mode. I'll just show off a bit of the alt mode and then go on to the alt mode comparison. As you can see here, Starscream, he has a very, very G1 look to him. Here's the bottom. The bottom is a bit messy, but hey, the bottom of the original looked like a robot under there, so I'm going to excuse it there. This is no masterpiece Starscream, although it's pretty good. And I'm going to follow with the actual comparison to classic Starscream. Alright, here's Henkei Starscream next to his classic counterpart right here. The most obvious paint app differences, if you notice, I'm just going to stand them up like this so you can really see. First of all, there's the use of the Decepticon symbols here, here, and here on the Henkei version, which make it accurate to where you would put the stickers on the original toy. And compare this to the Reb sign, which is present on these wings here, which is a nice touch to the G1, but these look a lot better. Also, the wing pattern is completely different, as you can see. This one is very slavishly G1 in how it's laid out with colors, whereas this one takes more liberties. I think for when it did come out, it was a good choice because it broke up the mold a bit, added a bit more color, but this one, the vibrant colors just help sell it. Also interesting to note is, whereas this one, it's harder to see, but this one, if you notice, the cockpit inside is painted silver, and it's got a lighter shade of plastic for that. If you look at this one, however, it's painted the dark blue, the cockpit. The advantage here is that it stands out a lot more, and also the plastic here, the clear plastic, is slightly darker, which makes it also more interesting. Overall, in the end, this is the far more slavishly G1 figure. So, if you want slavish G1, go for this. It's got twice as many paint apps as classics. And I know that Universe Starscream has come out now in some areas. Oh, another thing that I feel I should mention here, just in terms of hiding stuff. That's one thing I like a lot about this version of the mold. If you turn it on its side, and you turn this one on its side, you can see where the head is here. But here they've painted it so that it's either paint or plastic, so that you can't actually see where the head comes out of. The same goes here. They've painted the entire interior of the arm right here, whereas here it's unpainted. So it blends in a heck of a lot better with the main jet. I'm just going to do a couple more comparisons here. I'm going to compare him to Titanium Scourge in alt mode, about roughly the same size. And I'm going to do a quick comparison to everyone's favorite warrior, Cyclonus. As you can see, Starscream is slightly bigger than Cyclonus in some ways, but Cyclonus is a bit wider than Starscream is. So, for a few more quick scale comparisons before I finish, here's Henkei Starscream next to Henkei Convoy, Optimus Prime. You can see that he's definitely quite a bit taller, the Voyager Deluxe, but that doesn't mean he's that short of a Deluxe. He's about average size for a Deluxe figure. And here's Starscream next to his Executioner in G1, Universe Galvatron. As you can see, they're roughly about the same size, so the whole coronation scene would play out very well if you wanted to reenact that. Of course, you would have to get a crown and cape and shoulder pads for this Starscream, which nobody's done yet, amazingly. But, again, my final thoughts on this, there's a few flaws with this mold, as I mentioned before. The mold's being used a lot, but that doesn't mean it's a bad mold. And in my mind, this is the definitive Starscream if you want something that's as close to G1 as possible. Lots of paint apps, well-used colors, and the paint is very well placed. And for those people who hate the chrome is minimal. so don't fret too much about the chrome. Nothing really obscures details that well, and he overall, if you keep him in robot mode, he looks very, very, very good on a shelf. This is General Techno signing out.